Once upon a time, in a far, far land, there was a little girl who was able to read the first time she picked up a book. Okay, so maybe that's not how the story went. Let's try this again. When I was about 5 years old and entering kindergarten, I had a head full of fairy tales and an outgoing attitude that influenced my dad to make me my own theme song, entitled Holly Girl. I loved dancing and singing more than anything in the world. At restaurants, I would walk up to random tables and ask strangers if they wanted me to sing them Disney princess songs. Without even waiting for an answer, I would burst out into a full-on show singing songs from The Little Mermaid and Pocahontas. While I loved watching movies and practicing my dance moves, I also liked books. I would try to get my mom to read me them all the time, but she told me that I should start trying to read to myself. I didn't like that idea at all because for some reason, I had a lot of trouble reading when I was younger, especially the words that had capital letters. My parents were concerned that I was going to fall behind with my reading level, so they bought me Hooked on Phonics. Being the stubborn little girl that I am, I refused to use the program because I thought it meant that something was wrong with me. From that moment on, and after my parents wasted about $200, I decided that I was going to read on my own. I picked up a book called Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss and read it over and over again. I fell in love with the characters and the storyline. I loved how Sam I Am never gave up and was persistent throughout the book. He gave the stubborn characters so many options to try those green eggs and ham, and I thought it was hilarious. I remember turning the thick pages of the book back and forth and bringing it with me everywhere I went. I ended up leaving it outside one day, and the rain ruined those thick pages I loved so much. Reading Dr. Seuss took me to the most wonderful places that I wish I could visit in real life, like Whoville and the little town within the speck in Horton Hears a Who. Reading Green Eggs and Ham launched me into a newfound appreciation towards books. I would visit my school's library and check out books to read at night. I started off with easy books like Dr. Seuss, and as the years went on, I progressed to Judy Blume books like Superfudge, Junie B. Jones books, and even Nate the Great books. I would read and read and read all night long and would pretend that I was sleeping when my parents tried to catch me reading past my bedtime. What's interesting is that I think I embody both the main characters in Green Eggs and Ham. At first, I was like the stubborn character who was afraid to try something new, which reflected my feelings toward reading. But soon enough, I started to act more like Sam I Am and was persistent in keeping up my efforts in trying to learn how to read. In the end, both the stubborn character and I realized that we shouldn't resist trying something new. We learned it can be beneficial and that we might end up liking it, even when we were hesitant to try it at first. Even though I still may be a slow reader, I decided I wanted to become an educator because of my experience with teaching myself how to read. I want to help kids realize that reading and learning is not as hard as it looks, and that anyone can do it with a little practice.